Hey tribe, as many of you know guys, I'm still recovering energetically from I can't explain what it is, but it's a spiritual sickness, let's put it that way. You know, where I had to purge a lot of things, as well as to come to a lot of new and super deep realizations. Might talk about this in the near future with someone, so keep your eyes open because I'm gonna be changing how I do things. So I'm in the midst of transition here, and I'm excited where it's gonna take me. Now, as you know, I'm not gonna have enough energy to do 7 to 10 D predictions this weekend. I don't know when I'm gonna post it at all. I might have to skip a week and focus on some other things. But right now I'm prioritizing energy for my clients that who were very, very nice and very understanding, because I didn't want to do the readings having half-ass energy, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna do a quick one today. I don't know what to expect from this reading. This might be a collective energy. This might be a message that someone needs to come across. Those who will come across it, hopefully this is helpful. I don't have a plan. So I think I wanna start with energy checkup, a bit like I do in the personal readings using Rebecca Campbell's decks. So let's take a look at what's happening here. What do we need to know about what's happening behind the scenes? Kind of want to take a look at the collective energy. Filter out the messages, because this is it's quite a general reading because we don't have any piles as well. Okay, let's take a look. What's going on? All right. Some of you are being told off, but it's coming from love, okay? From your higher selves. Okay, let's take a look. A lot of colors. The cards that are popping out here, super colorful. Let's see. Sweet. This is nice. This is very, very nice energy. I love seeing that here. Now, for some of you, this will come through as advice. For others of you, that's where you're at and something to keep on doing. So what's happening here energetically, a lot of people might be asked to take breaks. Or intuitively you might be drawn to maybe taking an hour off, you know, in between work responsibilities, or just pampering yourself more. I wouldn't be surprised if people were thinking about booking holidays. Some other people might be thinking about certain retreats, maybe a weekend getaway. Others just taking a day to do nothing if they can, or if they're super busy, they would take an extra 20 minutes or an hour. If that's not where you are, that's the message behind it. That's something that would be beneficial for you. Right now, you're being asked to take a break. Life is not all work, okay? It doesn't have to feel so intense all the time. You don't have to keep fighting for certain things all the time. We as people make things complicated. And that's the message here. Surrender to the sweetness. Again, this is saying enjoy life. Pleasure, joy, make love to life, right? That's where you're being asked to go towards to right now. Now, big picture thinking is in between these two. What this means to me here, it's saying right around the time when you'll take a break or you'll take extra time to process certain things in your life, and you won't push yourself to do better or to get better, or you know, to take care of so many things. That time will be crucial for you, because a lot of realizations will come from that time. When you give yourself extra time, take a break, you know, I don't know, have a spa experience, or have a spa in your own bathroom, okay? It can be as simple as that. That's when you're gonna generate a lot of interesting and unique ideas. It doesn't have to be, you know, idea for a massive project if that's not where you are, but it can be an idea that almost like makes sense to everything that has happened prior. So look out for those realizations right now, but this comes around the time when you're relaxed, and that's what happens a lot of times. So no wonder we have big picture thinking. In between, take a break, as well as surrender to the sweetness. If people, you know, they're very busy and they keep pushing for those ideas, I have to have a better idea, or I have to understand this better, but there is so much chaos around, you cannot hear and see clearly. You can hear and see very clearly when you are just in a zone, right? So the same happens when you, let's say if you have to do a mediumship reading, you have to zero yourself, right? And zeroing yourself allows everything to come in. The same way you connect to intuition, you just become a bit blank, you allow all the sensations and intuition speak to you, your higher self speak to you, right? So that's something that is important here, what's happening. What can you expect? What can you expect? What is the next important phase in life here? What can you expect? I'm sensing a lot of excitement, much more than before. So it does seem like collectively people are shifting into much better, much higher, much stronger mindsets, which I love seeing here for you guys. Purple color, violet, deep pink tones might be important right now. For a couple of others of you, neon blue, you know, or teal color. Yeah, look, you're walking towards a portal here. Yeah, nice. Wild card. I love this. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's like you're being prepared for this new chapter of some sorts. Let's see what is that. Of course, you wear vouchers. Let me adjust you a tiny little bit here so you can see what is going on. I'm hearing pay attention to sounds for some of you. In your surroundings. Interesting stuff. Let's see what you're releasing, because I'm seeing you're releasing something important and something big. That's why you're gonna feel so light, or much lighter than before. I'm seeing you putting down an unnecessary bag that you've been carrying with you. And you used up everything in that bag, you don't need it anymore. We have filled out, loved and proud, we know that here. It's all about that energy, you know, giving yourself so much more, but it does seem like a lot of you will start seeing your true potential. Self-confidence is coming back, or it becomes much stronger. And Maximus card is just here to let you know what we talked about. How can you feed others when your own table is empty, right? Give yourself that time to feed yourself. It's interesting that ties in with something that I talked about with a client today. She asked me, we just had a conversation, it wasn't a reading. We had an amazing chat. She's very deep. I love talking to her. She said, listen, how can I replenish my energy after doing mediumship, you know? And I said, you know, it's the same thing like doing tarot, any energy work really. What is the most helpful that I've noticed in my journey is having a full good plate of food. And that's why this Maximus card, I think, popped up here saying, listen, feed yourself a bit more, right? So this is about replenishing your energy. How can we replenish our energy? Give ourselves time off and stop being in our headspace, you know, running in circles too much. I know it's easily said, hardly done, but everything can be taught. It's all about discipline and kind of making that habit your routine. I really want to talk about, and I want to read the NAS card from the book. In a way, you know, when I read certain decks from the book, I don't do it for many of them, but I think these are the ones that I like doing it for, because it's almost like I am kind of like celebrating the author, you know, in a way, because some of the thoughts are really deep. And if I have published a deck like that, which I don't think I will, I would want, you know, those thoughts to be read and descriptions to be talked about. I'm reading these because these are quite deep. This is a straightforward deck, and it's not about only, you know, rainbows and unicorns. It's just like it puts everything nicely into perspective. It says this card represents the pride you feel from being loved. No matter what, you are cherished and essential. You will always be loved by the universe, by God, goddess of your understanding, and by creation. You are loved. The maiden holds the bird, and that's the parts that I like, how it kind of describes the imagery and how it ties in. The maiden holds the bird, its head raised in confident pride in a crystal nest, her loving hands neither grasping nor yielding, a perfect balance of nourishing freedom. Rich hues of blue in her gown suffuse and anchor the energy of love in a deep sense of unconditional support. Whatever happens in the day-to-day ebb and flow of physical existence, by virtue of your birth, you are loved and you are supported, you are wanted. You are part of the universal expression of life, its greatest accomplishment, its greatest pride, its greatest joy. Feel proud of the fact that you are you. A living miracle, sing your song. With the bird, yeah, you're being asked to also kind of become a bit freer, you know, and understand that that freedom is accessible in everyday routine. But also to speak up. And let's go through the Maximus card really quickly here. It says you are maxed out, and yet conversely more is needed, more nourishment for yourself. You are spread too thin and your life force is draining. How can you feed others when your own table is empty? A new idea is waiting to be cultivated, as evidenced by the flame in the bulb. Or perhaps it's time to stop sitting on an idea you've had for some time. The months are starting to gather, and as lovely as they are, they will slowly blot out your light. It's time to feed yourself in order to cultivate and harvest your next crop. Stop focusing on everyone else and the role you play in their lives. Till your own soil, serve yourself the fruits of your own labor. The table is set with fine silver on a blood-red cloth. In fact, the blood is pooling and indicating that your life force is draining. Capture it now and fill your cup. What is the purpose of these fine things if they are not used? I think behind that there is an extra message for some of you. What is the purpose behind these fine things if they are not used? Right? So it reminds me of a situation who has bought something precious for themselves, but because they're not feeling fulfilled internally, even that is not kind of sparking their soul in a way. And I think that's the message for a couple of you. Let's pull from the Super Lunaris Tarot and let's see what else we need to know about right now, what to expect. Pardon my voice because my voice isn't back 100%. I might sound a bit stuffed up. Let's see. What is going on? What can you expect? Why are you here? Why did you come across this reading? We know Six of Wands is here. Oof, guys. This is tying in not only, you know, what we talked about is happiness, the period of happiness, and almost like feeling so much lighter and more confident, but it also ties in with the last card, the Maximus card, where there's a lot of people reaching for your energy. And what you're learning throughout time now is how can I give them but give myself too. She's taking a break from that attention, if you can see in the Six of Wands. Overall, this is a winning card. I love that this showed up. Page of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. This is good stuff. Let's see what else. Queen of Wands. Yeah, vouchers. A lot of you have forgiven situations, people, in the past, and that forgiveness somehow frees you. I don't know why. For someone, I heard don't bite your own tongue. And as I felt it, the King of Swords showed itself. Okay, one more. What you need to know here, pile number. There's no pile. What am I talking about? Two of Cups at the bottom. You need to know that there are a couple of options for you out there when it comes to work, business, career. So that's something to keep in mind. But this seems like it's a future energy still for some of you, most of you, I'd say. You have options. You don't have to tie yourself to one thing, only one niche, only what you're used to. You have to have like almost this vision of 360. You have winning cards here, the Queen of Wands as well as the Six of Wands here, through your passion, through living from your heart and expressing yourself either creatively or whatever it is that draws you in. That's how you're going to be able to harvest, in a way, your successes. This is saying, don't shy away from periods of learning. Whatever you don't know, seek for knowledge, and there is going to be a person who will be accessible for you if you will want to learn how to use this sword. So maybe someone's going to teach you something, someone might advise you something, you know, there might be a person who knows exactly what you need to know here in order for you to almost, I'm seeing, take flight, you know. And it's not to say that they are better than you or anyone is better than you know, or you are better than them. It's about recognizing those people, those passengers, or even people who are in your circle, maybe whom you haven't acknowledged fully or you haven't had a deep conversation with, right? And knowing that they have something to offer. This is a representation of you. You're about to learn how to use that sword. You're looking at it, right? And just below this card, we have the King of Swords. This is someone who has mastered, you know, how to use that sword. So this is saying look out for situations like that. But overall, you are becoming the queen, the king of your own craft, of your own individuality here. Maybe some of you have lost yourself at one point, you know, and your authenticity, individuality, personality, maybe something took over you or someone took over you, or maybe you allowed it to happen, right? And it's saying we're coming back to our own selves and what we hold. And this reading is super intense, but at the same time, it's strong. This energy isn't like, oh, look out for good things, you know, you're gonna be on top of the mountain. It's about, listen, you have this power, but you also need to acknowledge all the fuck-ups that you thought were the fuck-ups in your own mind, and twist them around and say, listen, those were amazing experiences. Doesn't that matter how difficult that was at that time, right? And owning every little experience that you had up until now. And it does seem like a lot of you guys might come across almost like I'm seeing a chest full of a lot of tools, and they're all shining, and you'll be able to use those tools for your further development. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card here. I think the story isn't finished here. I told you you have options when it comes to business or how to be independent. It doesn't only have to be business. Nine of Pentacles is a very independent card, right? What else is here? Some of you might be coming, again, do you remember how I said coming back to who you truly are? Every time I pull this card, it does seem like it's literally the same person giving their inner child, you know, a gift. That's who you are. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna continue being me. But for a couple of others of you, this might be a representation of something coming back that you love doing, or if there was some kind of a blockage, you know, it's being, I'm almost seeing like a massive wave breaking a fence, and it's being washed away, and therefore you are able to grasp and take what it is that's been yours for that time. But maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe there was some kind of other blockages, you know, that you had to, obstacles that you have to overcome in order to get it back or take it. So I do hope that this reading found those who needed to hear that, and I hope this was insightful. Tribe, thank you for coming back. Love you as always. I'll catch you soon.